areas such as checkpoints and hotels. Al-Shabaab has also carried out attacks in neighboring Kenya and Uganda. Somalia's government says it's trying to stop attacks like these from happening.
Saturday's tragedy has become a lesson learned. Since the country is in a state of war, we need to be vigilant against terror attacks, since the primary goal of the terrorists is to cause maximum damage to everybody. They are not only targeting those who work for the government, but the entire population.
For those caught up in the blast and those who've lost family members and loved ones, that's of little comfort now. The reason why Somalia's president blames Al-Shabaab is because there's a certain way Al-Shabaab operates. They were pushed out of Mogadishu a few years ago, but every now and again they manage to come back to the city, and they tend to target hotels and security checkpoints. For example, the one on Saturday where the truck exploded, the people there were telling us that the truck that was used, the vehicle that was used, was a fairly normal-looking vehicle. The people in the car were dressed in civilian clothing, so it made it very, very hard for security forces to identify before it was too late that that was Al-Shabaab or that was a threat. That's one of many, many challenges security forces and officials in Somalia are facing, trying to improve security in the country.
Thank you, Hada Mutasa in Nairobi. And now on Skype from Mogadishu, we've got Hodan Ali, who is a humanitarian and development advisor to the mayor of Mogadishu. Hodan, thank you for your time. I'm really trying to get an understanding on how these events affect people in Somalia, or maybe how the build-up to these sorts of events, all the security, the checkpoints, and the constant fear that something like this might happen.
Thank you for having me. I think a lot of times we focus on the numbers and the mass casualties and the physical destructions. When you look at the human toll that these types of attacks have, it's immeasurable. Last night I had some time that I spent at the hospitals doing assessments, triaging to see who needs to be flown to for treatment and who can be managed within the country. I've sat with mothers, I've sat with brothers and sisters who lost loved ones or who are nursing injured family members, and you can hear the cracks in their voices, the pain that these types of atrocities have. I met a mother who, was out in the market selling tea to support her 3 kids in university. One of the girls died. One is in critical condition and has been flown to Turkey today. So the human impact is immeasurable, both for the families, for this country as well.
What more could be actually done to try to prevent attacks? Because part of me always thinks that if a group, be it Al-Shabaab or anyone, wants to blow up a car or a truck, they're going to do it. They're going to find a way to do it. They already keep finding ways to do it. I mean, is just more security the key at the moment?
I think that's the million-dollar question in terms of how do you manage someone who has committed themselves to dying. And this is not just something particular to Somalia, it is a global phenomenon. But in particular in Mogadishu, I think we focus a lot on heart security, and I don't think that will be probably the answer. Roadblock division and more militarization of the city. We need to look at smart security. We need to look at using communities to own their own securities. Having intelligence as a driver to battling Al-Shabaab. But in the end, we have people who are bent on dying and taking out the most that they can. It's an ideological issue that this country faces, and I don't think it's going to be one militarily. I think we need to explore other options that may bring some peace to the city in this country.
Hodan Ali, advisor to the mayor of Mogadishu, thank you so much for your time. Do appreciate it.